This is the day we've all been waiting for. It's finally here. Barbenheimer. If you're not extremely online like we are and actually live a rich and fulfilling life away from your screen, Barbenheimer is the portmanteau given to the twin theatrical release of Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer about the development of the atomic bomb, and Greta Gerwig's Barbie, which is about Barbie and has a star-studded cast. These wildly different movies hit screens in North America today. As one writer put it, this is Mattel meets mushroom cloud content, but it's been more explosive than anyone could have imagined. This odd couple has taken on a life of its own on the internet, becoming a pop culture sensation that spawned memes, merch, and people debating which order to see these movies in a double feature. Kelsey, you've been on the front lines observing the marketing around Barbenheimer for the past few months. So my first question for you is, how did this happen? What just happened? We've all kind of accepted that Barbenheimer is a thing, but when you step back and think about it, it's kind of a cultural moment that doesn't come around often.
Right. And I think the thing that's so fun about this is that I don't think that Christopher Nolan or Greta Gerwig sort of could have foreseen this moment. I think that it's kind of rare, but we have had instances of these of two vastly different movies kind of coming out at the same time. But ultimately, credit is due to the internet, the people who don't live rich and fulfilling lives, or who do, but do it on a laptop or on their phones. It's just recognizing what these two wildly different movies, and then wouldn't it be funny if, and it's also not just wouldn't it be funny, it's this is a great moment for people who like film, right? This summer has so many movies to choose from, and so this is kind of the encapsulation of feeling like the box office is back, right? And so why not dress up and go watch either the most devastating 3-hour film of all time, and then follow it by, pink glitter, or vice versa. So pick your poison.
You said that people didn't see this coming, maybe Greta Gerwig or Christopher Nolan didn't see this coming, but from many articles that I've read, they're quoting all of these marketing industry people and the CEO of Fandango being like, yeah, I knew it was going to be big. As soon as they announced that both of them would happen on the same day, this was inevitable, blah, blah, blah. And you don't seem to agree with that.
It's a cultural moment. The movies themselves are going to be big, right? Because Christopher Nolan is such a big, so in the case of Oppenheimer, he's such a big director. There's so much, excitement around his movies that with his name attached, right? Of course. And then Barbie is such a big, iconic brand. So I feel like separately you could have expected that they would have taken off, but this amalgamation of both of them, I think is one of those things that is kind of the unique joy of internet culture. It's who knew? Who knew? Really, who knew?
I think it's the power of these directors, at least in some part. You mentioned Christopher Nolan did Tenet, Interstellar, the Dark Knight trilogy, Memento, The Prestige. So he's got a great Rolodex. And then Greta Gerwig's kind of come out in the most recent years as this, feminist icon with Little Women, and what else did she do?
Lady Bird.
Lady Bird, that's right.
Yes.
I haven't seen either of those, but she is kind of this cult hero in film. So you wrote this article, and the headline was Barbie was made for this moment. And so I'm wondering, why was Barbie made for this moment in particular, 2023 in the summer?
So there are a few things that are all happening at once, Neal. And I think the first one is the Barbie brand itself. Think about it. If you're okay, what is Barbie? It's not just a doll. It's not just it's not just hot pink. It's just kind of a vibe. There's not a particular story or a particular thing. It's very amorphous. And so that lends itself to being kind of malleable for all these different ways, right? You could have a Barbie shirt. You could have Barbie rollerblades. You could have a Barbie rug. You could have a Barbie this, a Barbie that. And it's all very visual and just kind of perfectly suited for Instagram and TikTok. And so the brand itself is I think perfectly designed for 2023, right? We love, people are just ooh, pink. Ooh, like color. Ooh, look at this thing. Like it's like immediately satisfying that that Instagram id, you know what I mean? But then beyond that, like this moment for the US box office, it is such a big moment. You know, the movie industry has been so hammered by COVID the past couple of years, and we've always been kind of waiting for this return to normal, this return to normal, this return to normal. And like Barbie is kind of arriving in we finally have this moment of normalcy. People feel super comfortable going to theaters. Studios are releasing lots of movies. So like it's kind of this force together. Like the Barbie brand is like it's just fun, it's nostalgic, and that's a whole other element, right? Like nostalgia is, I feel like, everywhere. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, remember this from the 90s, Y2K, like all these little micro trends, like again, can all be Barbified very easily because Barbie is not like a specific moment in time. It's just kind of this, again, like this blob, this pink blob that can be formed to anything you need it to be. And then again, people are also really excited to go to movies. So they're like, what is this movie even going to be about?
Right.
Like
that's a big question. The trailers did a great job of not telling you anything, unlike many other movie trailers where it tells you exactly what's happening.
Right. So there's also like this curiosity gap. People are like, wait, what is this movie even going to be about? And what's one really good way to find out is to go to the movies and find out what it's going to be. So I think that there's that element too that really works in this film's favor.
Do you think there's anything to sort of the subversive political undertones of Barbie? Is it just the surface level, pink and fun and nostalgic and going back to my childhood? Or is the Greta Gerwig, we're reclaiming Barbie to be this feminist icon playing into it? Or do you think that's kind of maybe reading a little bit too much into why people are interested in this movie?
No, I think that's definitely why people are interested, because they're like, how is this going to be Greta Gerwig-ified, right? Like, what is this going to look like? And I have not seen the film yet. I will be seeing it. So, who knows, right? And so that, again, that's kind of the element. It's like, what is this director, who, I mean, Little Women's an amazing movie. You should definitely see it. I do want to see it. But like, what is she doing with this piece of IP, right? And I think that's, again, people are like, they have to know. They have to know.
Speaking of IP, I've seen approximately maybe 50 trillion LinkedIn posts praising the Barbie marketing team for its, all-out assault on licensing deals and just getting Barbie everywhere ahead of this movie. So I'm wondering, is there anything that marketing professionals can learn when they're promoting the next movie that comes out? Or is this just kind of lightning in a bottle that these Barbie people were dealt the best hand possible just because you said this is the moment for Barbie to thrive?
So I think there are a few things. One of them is just like the power of being unmissable. Like unless you have fully lived under a rock for the last 4 months, like that this movie is coming. Like it is like in the atmosphere. There's so much. And the way that they've been able to do that is because they did all these partnerships with different brands. So, I mean, I could just list them off, but like, apparel brands, home decor brands, makeup brands. Xbox has a Barbie console, right? It's literally everywhere. And so that really stretches like again, Barbification of 2023. Like you can just see it everywhere you look, even if you're not necessarily like a traditional, like, I don't know, like there might be like a very specific segment of someone who's like, I'm definitely going to be targeted with Barbie stuff. And then there's this extension just, again, through all these like brand partnerships. So I think that that's like the power of it, because there are so few moments where like culturally there is like alignment and unity on something. But then again, there's like the magic of Barbenheimer, right? Which is, I don't think...
You can't predict.
Right. You can't predict it, and you just have to run with it.
Right.
And I think that it's going to be really interesting to see how Oppenheimer does too, because we talked about this a little before the show started, but these double features, Oppenheimer's. I believe that they have projected it's actually going to be more than what was initially projected, again, because of this Barbenheimer effect. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, is this a halo effect just affecting, who does it affect? Or does somebody go see Barbie and then go see the new Mission Impossible movie? Like, it could have a halo effect for a lot of films. I think
that's the goal of these kind of things, is that it's a 1 + 1 = 3 scenario, which is why you see Tom Cruise taking Instagram pictures holding up tickets to Barbie and Oppenheimer, saying, like, I'm going to go to both of these movies, and then each of the stars of Oppenheimer and Barbie have sort of promoted their films in conjunction with other ones. And I think this is the definition of synergy. It's why car dealerships all locate on the same road. It's because people are going to the movies. They might see more than one, or they might go back the next day and see the other one. It's why there's a bunch of trailers for movies in front of other movies. So I think this is a halo effect that is going to lift all boats here. And this is a tried and true strategy from Hollywood for decades. There have been a lot of this, what's known as counter programming, where you put maybe a kid's movie next to an action movie, so the dad can go see the action movie, the kid can go see the kid movie. One of my favorite ones is known as The Dark Mama. And 15 years ago, Christopher Nolan had The Dark Knight, and it came out the same day as Mamma Mia. So those are two very different movies. It was the same July weekend, and The Dark Knight kind of obliterated Mamma Mia. And then another famous counter-programming example was Pitch Perfect 2 and Mad Max Fury Road. So you can
to me, those are the same movie.
Those are the same movie, but for whatever reason, it didn't get the explosive virality of Barbenheimer. But studios have been coordinating and doing this for a while because they think, the more options people have, it's not necessarily putting movies in competition with one another. It's, generating value across the spectrum.
Yeah, but I think that it's interesting because in those instances, it was really like, which one are you going to see? And this weekend, it's like, I'm seeing both.
Maybe.
a lot of, I think that AMC said that they've seen tens of thousands.
40,000.
40,000.
I don't know if that's a lot or a little, though. I guess it's more than zero.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know how many people are actually going to see both. Whenever I ask around the office, that's been the main topic of conversation. What are you going to see? I've only heard people say, I'm going to see one or the other. I haven't heard any double bills. So I'm a little skeptical that people are actually seeing. That's a long time to spend in a movie. Barbie's definitely over 2 hours. Oppenheimer's 3 hours. I think Oppenheimer's also limited by the fact that it can only be seen, it cannot only be seen, but a lot of people want to see it in IMAX because Christopher Nolan shot it on the best camera possible for movies in history, the 70 millimeter IMAX film. And there's only 30 theaters in the entire world that you can see this at its, peak quality. And I want to do that. And I was looking at the Lincoln Square AMC, which has one of only 19 screens in the United States that shows, Oppenheimer at 70 millimeters. And I couldn't get a showing until August 8th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a great sign for Oppenheimer.
It's a good sign, but it might limit their ticket sales. It might also boost the cost per ticket, certainly. So we'll just have to see. If you look at what the projections are, Barbie is expected to reach at least 90 million this weekend in North America, and Oppenheimer is supposed to come in at 60 million, which makes sense. Oppenheimer is fewer screens, bigger, rated R, maybe less appeal, a little darker.
Hey, thanks for watching. And if you want more Morning Brew Daily, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And also check out the rest of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
New episodes drop at 7 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and you can email us at morningbrewdaily@morningbrew.com.